Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are covering Christian yet again, and it seems like we are in the final chapter. It seems like we are in the final act of the Christian saga. I don't know if Christory will be able to continue, or if anyone will want to continue it after what has happened recently. As you can see with this Reddit post here, there are some leaked messages between Chris and the trolls, and normally this would just be some stupid fucking new ween shit, but unfortunately it's something really serious, that being that Christian has been sleeping with his mom, and I'm not meaning in the he comforted her way, I mean in the he plowed her way. So we're gonna read all these troll DMs, and just know that these are real. Just going ahead and sharing this with you, fresh experience on the strictly confidential, just between you and I. So yes, Barb and I just had another romp in the hay and extensive cuddle. Tonight, I started looking into a more consistent pattern to my messaging and to my massaging. Sorry, it's a bit hard to read with how blurry it is. And I took the input and focused on getting blood flow into the groin area. Yes, he did actually just fucking say that to someone. Before tonight, I did not really have a set pattern in the massage, aside from the feet and legs. I followed by hands and arms, the face, front torso, and then roll over to her back. I have found more consistent method that works between the legs and arms, but I was inconsistent in the hands and feet anyway. I also made another attempt at rubbing her vagina, externally at first, then slipping in between the lips and rubbing her inner labia. Then she told me to stop. Yes, he actually fucking says that his mom told him to stop, that she didn't want it, that she was not consenting. She's getting more used to being played with down there by hand. By the way, she is so old and defenseless that she probably couldn't stop Chris if he did decide to put advances on her. Would you believe she has literally never ever masturbated in her entire life, considering how old she was and how frowned upon it was when she was a kid? Yes, I can believe that. And obviously, those out of 8 guys, counting Robert Chew, and yes, he is referring to his dead father by the Sonichu name that he gave him, before me, were not hitting her G-spot as much with their cocks. I had attempted the first night to rub her in there. I found her spot, but it hurt her. Of course it would. But alternatively, I did find that cunnilingus I was good at with my tongue. And I did also stimulate her clit. That does not seem to hurt her as much. But she still has a limit with that spot as well. Anyway, we're making progress, if that's what you want to call this. And when we cuddle, and this actually impressed me more, I literally feel our souls bonding and coming together as one during that time. Damn, it feels so... where does that continue at? These are screen cropped terribly. Damn, it feels so good when that happens. And we talk a good while, as before she heads back upstairs. I have been sending her meditation tracks to stimulate her brain and bring back some of her youth, and the results do show most splendidly. I am so proud of her, and from her stories she told me tonight, she even remembered a fun story that involved her daddy from when she was... two years old. 2 years old. That in itself at her age is massively good. She has had memory problems at the time beforehand, hinting that she might have dementia. I know a lot of people say that she does have dementia. As far as I'm aware, it is not confirmed. It is just speculated. Yes, she is being better stimulated in her mind and soul, and it really shows. Her mental progress, her mental processing speed is even going back up, which that's not how you cure something like dementia. She feels this and has told me so herself. You can't trust someone when they are like that. Where is the rest of this? And I am so happy and content that I am able to help her out like this. Yes, you're helping her out. Continue to tell yourself that. And it helps me as well, because of all the experience and the education I am learning. Now, this goes all the way back to Christian saying that he feels like moms and sons should fuck years ago, saying that if a son needs sexual experience, a parent would teach it to him a lot better. This is straight out of a terrible fucking porno. And Christian has tricked himself into believing that this is life, because people have humored him long enough to where he feels like he can do this, to where he can get away with this, and that people will have to accept him. Mostly because of his LGBT identity, where he feels like that morals don't really matter anymore, and that he can get away with any type of depraved shit and claim pride over it. It's really disgusting what the internet has done to Christian. Now we go over to the Kiwi Farms where Noel talks about what is going on, and this is kind of where I was at yesterday. I knew that trolls were leaking stuff about Chris, but I didn't realize how bad it was. I thought it was all part of some troll op. Let's read what Noel had to say that changed my mind on how things went down. They are considered genuine. Nobody knew of this except one person named Bella, a troll sona of someone called ฎ, who Chris confided this information in. Early this morning, Greene County Police visited the Chandler residence for a wellness check. And that's where shit got real for me, when the government is getting involved. Just now, Chris was served an emergency protective order until August 5th. He is not allowed at his house until then. He is also not allowed to contact his mother at all. Barbara is at a hospital for senior care inspection. And this is where it all hit me, that this is very real. The police got involved, the government got involved, doctors got involved. And this isn't the dastardly work of Clyde Cash. This is a real thing that happened, and Christian really did this. I had reached out to Christian beforehand, and I'm going to share my DMs with you in a minute about what Christian had told me. But just know that I thought that this was the work of a troll up until Noel made this post. Chris had some place to sleep. I will be disturbing... Chris has some place to sleep. I will be dispersing the remainder of the GoFundMe money to him to cover emergency expenses, as promised, and legally obligated of me. Which is nice of him, because in these matters, you would expect someone to be more petty. He tries to talk about how incest is a Class 1 misdemeanor. He was wrong. It's apparently a Class 5 felony when it's mother and son. Class 5 felonies are wobbler crimes that can either a felony or a misdemeanor, depending on how the crime is charged and sometimes how the judge or jury decides to treat a conviction, which, seeing how it's being played out and who it's between and how it went down, I don't think that they would be on Chris's side. Class 5 felonies in Virginia are punishable by 1 to 10 years in prison when the conviction is a felony, or up to 12 months in jail and a fine of $2,500. That's the misdemeanor. Now we need to cut over to my Twitter, because I decided to talk about this. After I saw Noel's post, I decided to go public about my conversation with Chris Chan, and I'll read my post first. I told Chris I wouldn't make this info public. but it's eating away at me. I know that he will not trust me after this, but I do not care. I asked Chris if he fucked his mom earlier, and he said it was true. He then claimed it was part of a test, but I don't want to pass if passing means doing shit like this, and I don't want to play dumb when people keep asking me if I know what's going on. I'm sorry, Chris, but you shouldn't have done this or said this shit. And now let's read our DMs. I share him the video, and I said, Chris, I know I hardly ever hit you up, but I feel that this needs explaining. Can you tell me what this is? And he answers me with some magical girl fucking bullshit. Keep faith and distance yourself from drama and chaos going on today. Know that the remaining bad vibrations of the world are being sorted and weeded out today. A detail that fell in the wrongest of hands can light the paths of good, intentioned, and light-powered individuals. I said, Chris, did you do it? Yes or no? Because I didn't want to deal with this magical girl bullshit or try to fucking get a message from that when I just want to know if he fucked his mom or not. And I said, I've been cool with you and have tried to treat you like a normal person, unlike most people in the community who either coddle him or abuse him. I think that you can at least return the favor with me by giving me an actual response. I'm going to have to talk about this, and it would help if you could explain this to me. And I was really hoping, and I know not everyone's going to believe this, but I was really hoping he'd tell me it's a troll. I was really hoping that he would tell me that it's the dastardly work of the Idea Guy 2 Electric Boogaloo. But that's not the answer I got. I got the answer I didn't want. I am not at liberty to discuss about this, and I ask you please, Dylan, do not drag yourself into this drama as well. This is a test of remaining weeded out toxic individuals who would take advantage of such details. You and Taylor are stronger and better than this. And I said, it bothers me that you can't say yes or no, Chris. I know the audio was messed with, which at the time I had only heard the tampered with audio, not the full audio that I will be playing at the end of this stream. But now I know that there is untampered audio. It's still not the whole recording, but once I heard what was cut out, God. I'm sorry that you guys have to hear that too. I just want to know if it's true. And then he finally cuts the bullshit and tells me, I will trust you with a simple answer. Then I ask both, please do not screen cap or share this simple answer. Yes, this is my test for you both as well. Please prove me right. And I told him I wouldn't screen cap it. And I know that's become a meme, that he told me to do one thing, and I couldn't do it. But I ask you guys to put yourself in my shoes. When you deal with Christian for so long, you're used to it being a troll op. You're used to it being a joke. You're used to it being manipulated. People tried to expose him for being a pedo, which wasn't true. People tried to expose him for hitting his mom after they got him to hit his mom. People have tried to expose him for a lot of things and tried to set him up for a lot of things. So it was perfectly understandable for me to think that this was yet again another masterful op, and that the real culprit would be revealed soon. But once I saw what Noel posted, I knew that that wasn't the case. Once I saw that the authorities were involved, and doctors were involved, and Chris was kicked out of his house, I knew that this information needed to come to the public. I knew that it wasn't the work of some masterful troll. Chris fucked his mom, and there was just no excusing it. There's no beating around the bush. There's no lying. I know a lot of people are saying allegedly. A lot of people are giving Chris the benefit of doubt and trying to cover themselves legally. I've put my neck out for a lot of things, and I've put my neck out for a lot of situations involving Chris. I'm willing to say that he did it. I'm willing to be held legally liable and say that he did it. Well, let's continue with the Noel updates. Noel continues on to post, Chris intended to stay with an extended family member. They rescinded the invitation. It's going to take 3 days for the GoFundMe money to transfer at the latest. He can't afford a hotel until it settles. And then here's some more updates. Update 1, Chris has a hotel. Update 2, I have stopped my payments to Chris and asked GoFundMe to return to all donors. And you're going to find out why right now. This is the last post I'm going to be able to make about... This is the last post I'm going to be able to make with any privileged information. Chris gave me access to his emails years ago to help out a while back during the Joshua Wise situation, which is the whole idea guy shit. I had access since. Chris is aware that I have access to his emails, and after changing his passwords, recently gave me access to them again. I have helped him deal with trolls, signing him up for spam and newsletters and other things like that. I was going to send Chris the GoFundMe money, but after talking it over and sleeping on it, I canceled the payment, and I asked GoFundMe for a total refund. And we'll look at that in a second. I told Chris last night to spend one night sleeping in his vehicle, and that this morning I would help him figure out a way to have a roof over his head until August 5th. I suggested that he take some time under the stars and reflect on the situation. Every so often, Chris gets an email alert that Barb has sent him money. I have always been under the impression that Barb tightly manages the finances and sends him some money. However, to my surprise, at 12:38 a.m. this morning, so less than 8 hours ago at the time, Barb sent Chris $750. I asked Chris about this, and this is their DMs. Did you ask your mom to send you money? That is probably a violation of the elderly person's protection stuff that she's under right now, because the court told him to not interact with her. And Chris said, I did not ask her to send me money. I have refrained from contacting her and continue to do so. So she sent you money on her own? She did not send me any money. I managed to find blessings in the minimum abundance I needed. Meanwhile, I presently have a little over 5 hours to kill, and both the favorite malls around here, and he's talking about hanging out the mall still. He fucked his mom. He's now done all this shit, and he's talking about hanging out the mall still. And he said, this is a lie. Chris fucking lied to my face. And it shows that Chris got money from Barbara, $750. Do you have control over her bank accounts? And Chris says, yes, I have control. And this was an emergency. I plan on sending the $750 back to her account after when I get $1,000 into my account. So Chris is already planning to get the $1,000 that Joshua was going to send to him, and he's going to use it to pay back his mom from the money he just stole from her. And yes, that's what that is. If you take money without permission, it is stealing. He says that he is not contacting her, which if he did, it would break the fucking conditions that the court set up to begin with, that the fucking officer set up. But instead, he just steals the money, which is somehow worse. It's worse than him asking her. So he's a thief. Again, this isn't the first time he's done this. There's a history of Chris Chan stealing money from his mom. The whole reason why the house is in this situation it is with the banks is because Chris Chan stole thousands of dollars from his mom for years to buy Nazi shit for Meghan. This is not a new thing. Chris has stolen money from her and has continued to steal money from her for years. I believe this is a violation of his EPO, as he is prohibited from stealing from her. So the EPO is something else. I guess it was saying that he's not allowed to take money from her. I don't really know what EPO is. I didn't have time to research it. Just know that he violated that by taking money. And Josh has notified the police. I've told people on my Twitter they have permission to use my screenshots. I've told people that they have the permission to contact the officers. Noel knows what he's doing. I don't. I don't know how to contact Chris's local police, and I'm not going to try. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't have the shit to do it. If someone else knows how to contact the police, they can do it and give them my information. They can give them the stuff that I have. And this is the final part. This is Josh contacting the fucking GoFundMe. On July 30th, audio and text messages leaked between Chris and an unknown woman where Chris confessed to aggravated assault behavior towards his mother. He has since been removed from his house and separated by an emergency protective order, which lasts until August. I guess that's what the EOP is, emergency protective order. EPO, whatever. Sorry, I'm really fucking this up. Until August 5th, the audio and text messages are authentic. Every NW has since been revoked his ticket to the convention. The GoFundMe no longer serves a legitimate purpose, such as I am refunding all donations. No drawing will be shipped. No, if you received a digital copy of your commission or shout-out video, it's yours to keep. I will be deleting my ledger of customer names and addresses after the refunds are finished. This GoFundMe was my test to see if Chris was responsible enough to handle commissions. His success and commitment towards fulfilling these orders surprised me in a good way and indicated that he would possibly be able to stabilize his income and live comfortably off of his work. This recent revelation has a massive black swan event, and I am still internally processing it. And that is everything from all of this that I needed to cover. And I want to thank yet again everyone who super chatted. I want to thank the over 1,000 people who are watching this. I've been really nervous this whole time. I've been stuttering, I've been stammering, I've been fucking up words. I'm not going to edit any of that out because I want this to be authentic. I want this to be genuine. And I wanted to cover more than what anyone else would cover and talk about everything that I could, because I feel personally involved in this. I feel really disgusted like everyone else here. And just know, after this stream, after I played this audio, I'm taking a short break from Christian. And when I do go back to Christian, I will only cover his old stuff. I'm not covering modern Christian anymore. I'm done with the delusional merge. I'm done with the goddess shit. I'm done with him LARPing. I'm done with all that fucking crazy shit. I'm gonna just cover Sonichu and Christian interacting with the trolls after this. I don't want to be involved in any of this fucking shit. Hopefully you guys have learned something from all this. Hopefully no one will give money to Chris after this. This is the full audio that we have right now of what went down. If you guys want to leave, you can leave. If you want to stay, you can stay. It's 10 minutes of fucking degeneracy. So I'm just gonna play this. I'm gonna mute my mic and play this shit so you guys can hear the shit that he talked about.
Yeah, she's got really sensitive G-spot because apparently I don't believe Ethan, Mr. C, any of her past boyfriends and ex-husbands, they haven't really reached and hit her G-spot really with their dicks.
Right.
They were more focused on themselves really, as opposed to focusing on her, which that's my focus.
Right? Yeah, true. But at the convention, make sure to have a lot of fun with, make sure to have push her, have a lot of fun with her, right? Because,
Obviously.
Yeah, because now you're doing this for your mom. Yeah, make sure, I'll be there watching you guys, making sure that nobody is trying to, sorry, my throat. Nobody's trying to hurt you, do anything. I'll take photos of you too. The dance will be awesome. We can take turns. I'd like to dance with her too, and then you guys can take like the slow dance or whatever. And
and all the other scientists for the convention as well.
But how are you feeling, Christine? How are you feeling? Because I know there's a lot of societal pressure on you about like this thing with Barbara. There's a lot of societal pressure and a lot of people, consciously who would judge, and there's a lot of eyes on you. It must be very stressful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm so sorry about all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, still, we still have Mädchen and Griselda dance with.
You always have them. Okay.
The incest fanfics have come true and shit.
I didn't even know there was such a thing. I didn't even know there was incest fanfics. Were there about you and Barbara? I can't believe that. I didn't even think that. I knew that you guys had a good relationship, but I always thought, because I'm not huge on Christory and, you know, whatever, I just thought that the whole Sonetry franchise was very interesting, and that's how I got into you when I was younger, right? But I didn't have any idea that Barbara was, that Barbara and you had that sort of relationship. I never got any of those vibes. But how did you approach her?
I approached her with care and caution.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a time approach. So I just gave her comfort and talked with her, and we just branched out slow and steady. And then I encouraged her positively. Let her make the first move. She wanted to do it. And
she did? Really? She made the first move?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow, Barbara. How did she do it, if you don't mind me asking? What was the first move?
I don't remember exactly. Well, that was her first move, but my approach was... I forgot exactly what terminology and approach I used, but I approached with care and caution.
That's good.
And I was direct and upfront with her for the most part.
That's good. And how did she respond when you approached her? What'd she say?
I don't remember exactly what she said, but it was I think she was partially confused at one point, but then she came around, obviously, with the more approaching that I was doing with her along the way.
Right. So she got into it. How was the first kiss? You kissed her? How did that feel? Having known this woman for your whole life, how did that feel?
Oh yeah, I mean it was simple lip to lip kiss contact, but yeah, it was actually good and it felt right.
When did you start having feelings for Barbara?
Obviously for a long time. I mean, I remember even mentioning some time ago in one of my videos that I even had dreams where I had sex with her, obviously.
Really?
So,
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's right. The Oedipus complex.
Oh, Oedipus, that's right, yeah. Yeah, that's right. How, if you don't mind me asking, I know that's probably personal, you have to answer, but how is the sex?
I'd say it was satisfactory. It took a while. It took a few tries to...
It took a few tries, yeah. She is older.
And plus, also, she's very understanding about the whole thing as well. I was direct with her, still direct and honest with her. I made sure that obviously, I'm never going to propose marriage to her at all because we're already daughter and mom.
Yeah, mother and daughter. You know, they say there's no stronger bond than a mother and her daughter. Sorry?
We've been doing it every third night, and the first night being on June 27th.
Oh, you have a routine? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, at least you have a stable relationship, because you know it's not going to end. Like, if anything happened, you'd still be mother and daughter. It's not going to be explosive breakup, right? At least that's comforting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said since June. Right.
It took us a few nights to figure out what felt right and what didn't feel right. And
does your mother enjoy it?
She's having a good time, literally.
She is? She's having a good time?
Especially what we figured out.
That's good to hear. Do you guys act more like mother and daughter, or do you guys act more like, lovers? When, like, say you come home from, the supermarket and you see Barbara, do you say, hey, sweetheart, or do you say, hi, Mom?
Yeah, I haven't called her Mom in quite some time now.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I'm more often calling her Love at this point.
But you recently started dating Fiona, isn't that's true, right? In an open relationship?
Yeah, it's between Barbara and I, it is an open relationship, and I made that very clear with her.
Right. Is Barbara dating anybody else?
Not.
No? But she's fine with you dating other people, right?
Yeah, she's okay.
Do you guys go on any dates or anything romantic like that?
Well, not anything extravagant, but we do, as often as possible, eat at the dinner table together.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to do much lately because I've had to switch to a soup diet because after getting the crown on my tooth.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, these.
Right.
And plus, she's still trying to remember her inner child. And
right. That's true, yeah.
Well, so, but I've encouraged her towards the positives, and
right.
Being like homemade with
yeah.
her.
Knowing you, Christine, I think that because I understand that she's mature, and she's mature and she's wise. She's wise in her ways. She has experience and she loves you, and you two have a great relationship. But wouldn't you want somebody who's younger, right, and to keep up more with your energy? Yeah. A lot of time with your mom, like whatever you have left with her, that makes sense because, you don't know how long she has left. So you just you just don't want her to be lonely or anything, right?
Yeah, obviously. But I still would want somebody who was younger or close to my age, obviously. I don't know, maybe
You don't want anyone who's younger?
Not too many others at this time, but I mean, obviously, with my affirmations, I'm attracting my twin flame, and we proceed towards it more slowly.
Sorry, I'm putting the volume for I have a really bad ear because I got sick, like you can hear from my voice. It's hard to hear anything at all, but I could hear you now. Go ahead.
Alright, so anyway, with the events and everything, and I was feeling like I really needed a sensual release. And not too many individuals this side of the arc were coming up to the plate right there. So, and then everything was coming into good alignment, and it was good. The signs were all there, and even Emmanuel, God, just said it was okay, and it got me towards it.
God said this is okay? Yeah, then you don't have anything to worry about if God himself said this is fine.
Yeah. And so yeah, I gave it lots of time for myself. I was like, okay, so I'll take a time for it, so.
But how did this happen? How did this come about?
Well, among which just mainly I was really, really horny, and I needed a true and honest relationship to come about, so obviously this was one of the best ways to do it.